I've just spent the afternoon creating with a brand new tool from We Are Makers, and I'm hooked. Hey creative friends, you didn't think I'd let July go by without some Christmas in July craft, did you? It's the perfect time of the year to pull out my Christmas stash, and why not use it to test the new We Are Makers Shadow Box Punch Board. I'll show you exactly how this new tool works step by step and give you my first impressions, including something that was, well, unexpected. I've got lots to share today, so let's get started. This is the tool that's going to make today's project oh so easy. It is the We Are Makers Shadow Box Punch Board, and I can't wait to show you just how this works. Right away, I knew these were going to be so fun to make, but what I wasn't expecting was just how easy it would be. This is not a complicated process at all because the board itself makes it simple and easy. Let me show you this in real time and share the very best way to put these together. Yes, I did discover a few little tricks along the way. So essentially the board is broken into two sections. This side here helps you create the box for the shadow box, and then this side here will help you create the sleeve for it. I want to start by creating a 5-inch box, and on the board itself the table tells me I need a 9-inch square piece of paper to begin. I'm going to use this paper here. This is currently 12 by 12, so I will need to trim this down. So 9 inches by 9 inches. You do end up with a couple of extra paper strips, but I'll use these in my paper layers when I'm decorating. Okay, so I have my 9 by 9 inch paper right here, and I am creating the box. So I'm going to focus on this section of the board here. You do get this scorer, so we will need this. And all you need to do is score your paper down these 4 lines around all of the edges. So let's do that. So here's what we have to work with. I don't know if you can see those score lines, but we have 4 on each side. The next step is to punch. I have rotated the board and now we're going to punch, and we want to punch twice on each corner. So you'll feed the paper in here like so, and then punch. Then you need to shuffle the paper along, and you'll see here that it sticks out here now where it wasn't before, and then we'll repunch. So that's the first one done. Flip it over. First punch, you can feel the paper goes into the corner of the punch here. And you'll see that if you do just one punch, there's 2 squares here. So I'll be able to slide it across a little bit further. And now there's no squares there. Now we need to do the 4 corners. So these 2 and then these top 2. There is even a picture on the board here, so you've got that as a reference as well. There we go. So our paper now looks exactly like the photo here. I will say, I think they've done an amazing job of giving you everything you need in a really small space in a very clear way. So I think it's very easy to put these boxes together. They're really not complicated, which is perfect, right? So this is the box. I want to create the sleeve next, and then we'll do all of the assembly at once. So I'm making a 5 by 5 inch box. So the sleeve I'll need, the paper size is 11 3/4 by 5 inches. Let me find a paper scrap. Okay, so this is 5 inches wide, and then we need 11 3/4 inches long. There we go. So this large box does require quite large paper scraps, but there are lots of sizes, so you can work with the scraps that you have. Okay, so here's our paper that is 11 3/4 by 5 inches, and now we have some scoring to do. So for the sleeve, we're working on this side of the punch board, and we'll need a score line at the top here. And then we go down to the 5-inch mark. Because I'm making a box that's 5 by 5, we'll go down to the bottom here. And then we need to rotate the paper and do an extra one at the top here. And that's the sleeve done. The punch board can go away now because all I need to do is assemble. I'm going to do the box first, and I'll start by burnishing all of these score lines. Everything gets folded inward. Time to glue these into position, starting with the sections that have been punched out. You do those first. So I like to put the glue on the bottom tab and then fold it in on itself. And make sure that I'm aligning this section with this line here. I also have found it helpful to pop this in here and just press down, because you can't really press the glue down onto the back there unless you have this. So that's that one. Same on this side. Oops. There we go. I'm going to stick. Oh, yep, lovely. Yeah, so it's important that you make sure that where it goes around on itself, that edge is really nice and straight against this edge, because we're making a box here, so it does need to be quite straight. Okay, we'll give those a moment to dry because these next sections need to be folded up and into here. And I found if these aren't really dry, it can fall apart. So we'll just give this a minute. I think we're good, so we can move on to this section. And I do like to put a bit of glue here and do a similar kind of thing. These though have to be tucked into here. So we have to move quite quickly because I like to add all the glue before that bottom glue has set fully in case I need to shuffle anything. So see how this is tucked in and under? We will need to hold this together for a minute. That feels secure. So I don't know if you can see that. I'll just show you. This ends up going, so the glue goes on there and then I fold it in and under so that it's flat like so. And then very, very quickly, I put a little bit of glue here and a little bit of glue here. And then I can lift this up so that it tucks neatly under this section here and then glue it into position. That's the best way I found to do this. I have tried it without gluing this part here, but then I found that when you put pressure on this wall here as you're adding decorations and things, that wall can slide inwards. So you really do need to add the glue along this edge. And then you also need to add a little bit of glue just under the corners to keep it in place. So let's do this side now. It is worth waiting just a couple of minutes, even 1 or 2, before you proceed to the next section, just so that everything's really locked into position. So that's that, and then this corner here, and then this corner here. The trickiest part is not to get glue everywhere. That's the hardest part I've found because I don't really like oozy glue, but it's a little bit hard to avoid. That's feeling very, very good. So that's that. Next, we need to do the sleeve. So we'll pop that aside and we'll just burnish these score lines. Now, I found the best way to glue this is to actually pop it into the box to do that, just so that you can get a really good sense of how it's going to come together. Yeah, that's good. And you'll find that it sort of just fits when it's right. It'll feel good, it will fit. So let's put a little bit of glue on there. And then I just like to add a little bit here and here. Not too much. And you want this to be quite, it's not going to be like super snug, but you don't want it to be loose because if it is loose, you get gaps here. So it does need to be sort of wrapped quite well. And there we go. And here's our completed base. So for this one, we're going to slide up and down because of our paper, pattern paper, like so. Very cute. And I've even decorated the inside patch here, which I will do for this one as well. It's a great way to use up smaller paper scraps. And of course, I need to decorate the front cover as well. So I'll get going with that and I'll be back with lots of examples to show you. So what I'm loving right away is just how simple this is and how consistent my results have been right from the very first box I created. There wasn't a big learning curve to this at all. All of the measurements and instructions are printed on the board itself, which is so handy. In the past, I may have lost some instruction sheets, so it's so good to have everything printed on the board itself. No more having to track down instruction sheets online. At this point, my creative mind is racing. I am loving the boxes I've put together so far, but I'm wondering what else can I make? Could I adjust the measurements to make rectangular boxes as well? I think so. I'll have to work that out. It's now time for me to show you all of the boxes I created. I may have gotten carried away here. I made so many of these because they were just so fun to put together. Let me show you all of my creations. This is the smallest box that you can create. This one is 2 inches by 2 inches. And because it's so tiny, I've kept decorating very, very simple, just adding a single sticker to the front. Inside, I've added a piece of pattern paper to the bottom there. So we've got a cute little Santa peeking through. Now you will notice that this one is very, very small and I'm still not sure what I would actually do with this size. I'm not even sure a minty would fit inside there, but it is very, very cute. So I only made one of these. This next box is 4 by 4. I did not actually create any 3 by 3 inch boxes. I've jumped straight to the 4 by 4 and I created 3 of those. So let me show you them. This one I've decorated with a piece of pattern paper and some stitching and then layered up lots of different ephemera. This bow I have created with a die from Scrap Diva Designs. I'll leave a link to that one in the description box below. This one has the Santa print going up and down, so this way. So it will need to open top to bottom. Now they are quite snug. They do fit quite snugly in the sleeve, but I guess it needs to be, otherwise the sleeve would fall off. So it does take a little bit of jiggling sometimes to get it open. I have noticed too though, as I open and close it, it is getting better. It's getting a little bit, everything's sort of softening up a little bit, and it's getting easier to do that. So there's inside, I've also added an extra piece of paper in on the bottom of that one as well. This one is the same size, and I've got this one opening left to right. There's a bunch of bows that I've created in advance that I've just got tucked inside of here for now. I have also added in a layer of pattern paper on the background and even a sticker there. Imagine creating a bunch of cute little Christmas decorations and then gifting this to someone. That would be so cute. On the front, I created a shaker pocket and added in an extra bow for detail. For this next one, lots more paper layers. I do have a lot of paper left in this collection and not so many embellishments. So I wanted a way to be able to use those up. I've added a bow again because I'm all about them bows. And this one slides this way. So you see this one's actually quite soft as well. So these two, this one and this one, are quite good. This one's the one that's still a bit stiff. So I think I just need to use it a little bit more. Need to open and close it a little bit more and loosen that mechanism up a little bit. Inside this one, I've added another piece of pattern paper, and I'm thinking I might add some chocolates inside. These last two boxes are the largest size you can make, and for comparison, here's the smallest. So there's the smallest, there's the largest, and this one is the second largest. So the 3x3 would fit somewhere in here. For this one, I've created a shaker pocket on the front, and again, lots of different paper layers and stickers to use those goodies up. For this last box, I wanted to create a gift of little Christmas embellishments all in a pack. So this one opens this way, and what I've done here is added a little piece of vellum, not vellum, acetate to the bottom here and created this little pop-up moment. And then inside, I've added a bunch of really cute little Christmas embellishments and tags. And I also created with a couple of paper scraps, some little note cards. So I'm going to include those and then the tags and Christmas embellishments and create a little Christmas embellishment gift box / happy mail little treat box. I think that's super, super cute. I am so happy with how these worked out. I think they're super, super cute and obviously not just perfect for Christmas, but year round for happy mail and gifts. I'm thinking though, I really need to do a set of these as a bit of an advent calendar. How fun would that be? The other idea I thought was to create a bit of a card box. So to create several different cards that sort of coordinate, maybe 3 or 4, and then present them in this little box here as a gift. There are so many options and oh so many possibilities, and I love that you can use all of your leftover little bits and pieces from your stash and turn those scraps and spare pieces into some really fun projects. My final thoughts? I love this punch board and can't wait to use it more. I especially want to learn how to create a rectangular box, one for gift cards. It would be even better if We Are Makers had provided those measurements for us. I'll work it out though. The only real downside I see is that smallest box. 2 inches square is really not that big at all, and I still have no idea what I'd use that for. If you have a clever idea for it, please leave it in the comments for me because I would love to know. And if you're looking to buy one of these punch boards for yourself, be sure to check the description for a direct link. If you're feeling very festive this July and looking to burst through your Christmas paper stash, you need to watch my ultimate guide to Christmas craft. I share 30 creative project ideas as part of a Christmas stash busting challenge. There's a little Christmas magic waiting there just for you. I'll see you all again very soon. Until then,